I don't know if there's an introduction or how this works, but I'm going to go ahead and get started because I've got a few minutes, and then I'm going to pass it on to Coach Bowman. Dominique Bowman just started with us a couple of days ago, actually, and he's going to talk a little bit more defensive back play. I'm going to talk some more philosophy-wise, structurally, on how we do some things defensively at Arkansas. And if you've got a question as we go, raise your hand, get my attention, and we'll make it as interactive as you want it to. I do want to say thanks to the Arkansas Football Coaches Association for putting this event on. I know, obviously, last year with it getting canceled for all the reasons that it did, and then this year, obviously, with the weather, I appreciate everybody's work that went into that. The defensive staff that we have here, Mike Shears, our linebackers coach, he's talking tomorrow morning either at 10 or 10:30, I don't know which one. Our defensive line coach, Deke Adams, will go at that same time with Coach Shear, and then, as I mentioned, Coach Bowman will go as well. I started coaching, I played, if you look at the record books that have the number of missed tackles in a career, I'm number 1 at the University of Missouri. And then after that, I became a linebackers coach, and then kept going. I was a high school coach for 3 seasons. And you look at, when you really look at the core influence that coaches make, and that on every level, I want you to really think about, as you get into this next season and off season, the reason you got into business, and the reason that you got the opportunity to be influential in the game. You know that in every community that you're in, every high school that you are in, you're so influential in that town, in that community, and obviously in the school, and don't lose sight of that. Because I think the more that we get into the societal issues that we have in our country, if you look at the issues that come about, we can be the change, we can be the difference maker in a lot of those ways. And you've got to remember that. You've got to remember to the core values of who you are and how you can impact and change not only young men's lives, but all those that you impact every single day. I don't know, Coach Larry McBroom, I don't think he's in the room. He's coaching at Sheridan High School, just down the road here in Sheridan, Arkansas. He was my high school coach, and I grew up in the state of Oklahoma at Ada High School. He won, I think, 7 state championships, and he went to Texas, and then he's ended up in Arkansas. But he's the reason I'm in coaching. And Coach McBroom gave me and our team at that time, he gave us the idea of how you prepare, how you outwork people, the belief and the power of the mind, of how important that is motivationally on the things that he allowed us to do and put us in position to be successful. But I think everybody has that moment when they realize they're going to get into coaching, and Coach McBroom was that guy for me. And that happened a long time ago. And this, there's messages and things that I still do today that are because of his influence. And one of those, I had to write it down or I wouldn't mess it up here. But he said, being great is less about an event or an outcome and more about the process. And that process is often very, very boring. It's a dedication to being brilliant at the basics and the fundamentals, to commitment rather than convenience, to showing up every day and getting a little bit better than we were before. Bottom line is just doing the work and outworking people. And also realizing that every single day counts, especially in the profession that we've all chosen. We've got to make the most of those opportunities. So if we get into some of the things that, you look back at our season, defensively speaking, and really, I think the reason we had some success on defense, we're just starting to scratch the surface on what we're going to be defensively. But I think we made a lot of improvements in a lot of ways, but the main reason we did that, and in my honest opinion, and I realized it during the season, but even more so when I got at the end of the season and did self-evaluation, you did some things that, self-scout, and then you look at things that you do at the end of the year on trying to find ways to get better. But we had success on defense because we were really good on offense at Arkansas this year. And that there's no question about that. You look at the things that our offensive staff does in practice, making us defend. Really, it's a triple option every day when you line out and you go good on good. We do good on good all the time. I think Coach Pittman's going to talk a little bit about that maybe later on. We do 2-minute good on good. During game week, we do it, we'll either do it on Monday, we're going to get one on Wednesday, and sometimes Thursday, depending on the schedule and the time of year. I think that's made us a lot better. We won games with 2-minute drills, whether it's on offense or on defense this year. But also, you look at structurally on what we had to defend every day in practice when we went good on good. That made us a good football team on defense, okay? Or we're starting to get in the conversation of being that. Then Kendall and his staff on offense, you know, Cody Kennedy is our offensive line coach, and the things that they did, whether we were in an odd front or an even front, the things that they were able to do and combo blocks up to the next level, it provided us opportunities as a defensive staff always to try to find a way, because we knew how they were going to block it. And then, you know, our offense, they led the country in Power 5 in rushing the ball. That's hard to do. Okay? They led the SEC and led Power 5 schools in rushing. So if we weren't ready every day in practice, we were going to get exposed. Okay? That's just the way that it was. It made us better coaches. There wasn't a motion that we had or saw on game day that we hadn't already seen in practice just because of the way that they play on offense. And Coach Pittman put together a practice schedule that was challenging, but it also, when we got in early fall camp, we were two-spot and everything. So the ones and freshmen were on one field, the twos and threes on another field. So everybody in our program got exactly the same amount of reps. And I think over time, that allowed us to play a number of different guys, but it also allowed us the opportunity to get those guys game experience or get them game ready to go play and compete the game. So there's some things I'll talk about defensively that hit on this kind of our DNA and belief of who we are defensively, but it starts back to how we competed in practice. That started in the offseason. When you would watch us, if you could watch us, go back and you know, when we get started back, when we get around our players again, we'll line up one defense versus one offense, and it's a scripted, I don't know, 8 plays, and then we'll rotate. We'll transition from the ones to the twos on the field, but we'll go 8 plays, and it looks like, you know, we don't have anything on. It's just we're in gym clothes, but it looks like a full-ass, live-ass scrimmage, okay, without the tackling, without the tempo and the pace and the communication and the skills and the on-snap footwork and the fundamentals that takes. That gets us in position that when spring ball starts, we're ready to go and we're ready to hit it on practice number 1. So, you know, I think more than anything, the more reps that we've been able to get in our system and our scheme that's helped us out. But also last year we had a testament to Coach Pittman and the culture that he's built. Every senior that had a chance to come back, he came back. So we were a little bit older on defense. We had a lot of seniors that were experienced. They didn't get, you know, there was not we didn't step into an arena that was too big for them. All 3 of our linebackers had over 100 tackles. Okay, that's hard to do on one team. But Coach Shearer did a great job coaching those guys. They were all 3 guys that had played a lot of snaps. They understood the scheme on what we were trying to do and how we were trying to accomplish it. And they played within themselves. They didn't try to do too much. We were really versatile in defense. We were odd front. We were even front. We tried to give as many looks as we can. But I've also believed in coaching that it doesn't really matter what you know. It matters what you can teach your kids. You've got to be great teachers and great communicators. And I'm fortunate with the defensive staff, we've got a group of guys that can do that. So I'm excited about what we've got coming back. I'm excited about the new pieces that we've got coming in. But for me, and I don't know if you can see it in the back, I was sitting in the back earlier, Buck, you gave a great, you made me want to go play a couple snaps, so I got to try to follow up on that. But just our bottom line defensively, and we talk about it's very elementary on you know, the basis of how you play the game of football, but it starts with knowing our assignments. And you know, when you turn on the film and you can watch your team play and they say, man, you play hard, you play fast, it looks, you know, that's what you want to hear as a coach. But you understand, and we all know it in the room, if our players don't know what we're asking them to do, it'll never work. It doesn't matter what the scheme is. It can be the greatest blitz that there's ever been called, but if they don't know and all 11 guys don't know how to fit it and play it together, it absolutely means 0. We talk about all the time about having energy and enthusiasm in our program, but also on how you practice, how you prepare, how do you go to meetings, all the things that you do on having energy and enthusiasm. And the great thing about that is our players are in control of that. We've got to lead by example with coaches. Coach Pittman has talked a number of times to us and staff about the loudest he should hear us on the practice field is praising a player. And that doesn't mean being a soft ass. It means building them up, being an encourager, not a discourager, and putting them in position to have belief and confidence in what we're trying to get done. The next one is maybe the most important in my mind, is being tough and physical. And in our league, you know, the way that you've got to play every week, you better be mentally tough and strong, because if you're not, you're going to get exposed really quickly. But being a tough and physical team, the things that takes, number one, it starts in the guys that how we're recruiting, okay, the guys that we're investing in and bringing into our program. Okay, there's character, there's toughness, there's all the things that go into that. I want guys that like ball, okay, not the 3.5 hours on Saturday. I don't want signing day to be the mountaintop, the pinnacle. That's not it, okay? The true value and the essence of being a football player, tough and physical in the SEC West, okay, is being defined a certain way. It's how we lift, it's how we attend meetings, it's the approach that they've got in everything we do, from our run-throughs to our walk-throughs, being a tough player. And, you know, maybe when we first started, I'm not taking a shot on anything before or in that nature, but, you know, it wasn't. It has kind of become the cool thing now to be a tough guy in our program. And that hasn't always been the case from when we started, but now it is. There are a number of guys in off-season conditioning in our first year that they were quick to get the loser's limp and want to go over and not participate in the drill. We fixed that pretty quick. Coach Pittman put, if you're injured and you can't go through a drill, you're right in the center for everybody to see. Okay, you're on full view of everybody, and you've got to watch your teammate doing work, but your teammate is also watching you. I think all of that has become part of our mindset and our toughness. And fellas, that's not you know, confuse it. That's what Arkansas has got to be. We've got to be the most tough and most physical team every time we step on the field. Hey, I'm not talking about cheap shot toughness. I'm talking about real toughness. When it's 4th and 1, you're going to make a stop. When the offensive line looks and tells you exactly where they're going to run the ball, and they go do it. Okay, we understand how we're playing aggressive in our coverage on defense. But all of those things go together. And it's not just a Saturday afternoon thing. It's the way that you live, the way you breathe, the way you walk, the way you talk. The last one that I talk about a lot with our defense is being a 6-second competitor. And that's nothing other than just playing your ass off. From the time the ball snapped to the time the whistle blows, I want to try to get 11 hats to the ball. Okay? There's times this year that you can take a picture, and we did that. We're not there yet, but we're going to get there. But those are all, if you just had to talk to any of our defensive players, you said, tell me about the defensive line, they're going to be able to bring up those 4 things, and they know that that is our X factor. That's who we are. That's going to give us a chance to be successful. The next, this is way long too of a list. But these are things that we spend time in the off season defensively teaching and talking about all the time, from commitment to responsibility. And does this have to do with football? Absolutely it does, but it also has to do with everyday life. And when our guys walk out the door, they graduate and football is over, I want them to be better husbands, better dads, better brothers, better sons. And I feel like these 13 ways help us on the things that we try to get accomplished. Commitment to me is the first one. And you look at that, commitment to common goals as a team, commitment to being successful. We talk about it all the time defensively. There's only 2 ways to do it. You're either 100% in or you're out. It doesn't work. You can't think about, well, I'm really going to prepare on Monday, but not on Tuesday. You're going to get your ass beat. It doesn't work that way. So you can't test out the water, see how it feels. You've got to jump all in. And we talk about the commitment to doing that as a team every day that we have an opportunity to be in front of our kids. The next one is unselfish. In a world that is so selfish, okay, we talk about putting we over me in everything we do. Okay, on defense, there are 3 promises that we ask of our kids. We're going to graduate from college. Okay, that's important to me. We go into living rooms, we go into high schools, and we promise those people that are around our kids, hey, I promise that they're going to graduate from college. That doesn't mean you're any smarter than anybody else. I'm living proof of that. Okay, I was able to get a college degree because I sit in the first 3 rows, I acted like I was interested, and I took notes. And come test time, I found the smartest person in the class, and I sit right next to him. Okay, there's different ways to do it. But get your degree, because I want someday, when you're going to get a job and it says you have to have a college diploma, I don't want it going back on me that I failed that kid on giving them an opportunity to change their life. So academics is really, really important. We'll set goals for that. Coach has got a meeting every Thursday. The academic staff comes in and goes through every person on our roster on how they're doing. It's important, and we're invested in that. Having a great attitude, we all know what that is. Okay? You can't stand, my guess is, anybody in the room, when you're walking down the hall and there's just an energy vampire coming down, this, everything's misery, okay? That brings your team down, okay? You can have of 120 guys, you can have 115 that are all in, but as soon as you see those other 5, we don't got time for that, okay? That's not it. The great thing about it is everybody's in charge of your attitude every single day. So when you wake up in the morning, okay, you decide how you're doing things. Life's hard. You can understand that. It's not going to go perfect, but how are you going to react to that? And then I want them to have the willingness to be coached, okay? Don't get offended when we coach you hard. And being hard doesn't mean yelling and screaming and cursing. I'm not saying that. I'm trying to get the best out of every individual, and we're going to coach them hard because our expectations are hard and very, very high, and I'm just trying to get the best out of every kid that we've got a chance to coach. Okay, the next one is trust. Is really, really, it's one of the strongest words, in my opinion, in our language. Okay, the ability to be a great teammate can be the strongest bond you ever have in your life. Being there for each other. The guys that you share a locker room right now with, okay, if you're a player, you're going to build a relationship with those guys for the rest of your life, somebody that you can lean on. I think it's really important that you look at and talk about this. Treat everybody how you want to be treated. Okay, it's a really simple thing to do. When you're going to be treated great, treat everybody around you the way you want to be treated. Building relationships, build trust in each other, to always do the right thing for a team, okay? Not yourself. Do all the things right for a football team. We get a lot better really quick. Okay, growth is the next one to be every day, academically, socially, and athletically. We talk about those things on how to continue to improve and pour in and serve our team in all those areas to make sure that we're continuing to move forward. Okay, there's a plan. I'll talk with our guys about utilizing the services that we've got within our organization. Okay, they walk in the door, and you have a blank sheet of paper in front of you, you get to write your story together. Okay, that's something for me that in our program makes us better every single day. Okay, be intentional about personal growth. It's not going to happen just because you want it to. We understand also that growth will never stop. If you're a head coach, pour into your assistant coaches. Okay, try to pour into them to give them the plan to continue to move forward. And then all of us have to continue to pour into our kids. Okay, there's a couple of examples academically. Coach, we'll talk about, I'm sure, we graduated 100% of our kids this year, which is hard to do. Grant Morgan was a great player for us. He was an All-American 2 years ago, and then won so many awards this year. But you look at, to me, and then All-Americans this year, Buster Brown and Bumper Poole played linebacker and corner. And Coach, I heard mention about great Arkansas teams over time have been built with Arkansas kids. Okay, Grant's an Arkansas kid, Monteric's an Arkansas kid. Bumper's not, but he should have been. Okay, he's from Texas. But anyway, the guys that we had on defense have played with great success this year. If I look at it, there's a lot of Arkansas kids, and that's what we're going to have the ability to get back to. Okay, this is the one I talked about earlier a little bit. Toughness, mentally and physically. Never ever give up. It's going to be hard. We understand that. Life is hard. Okay, we're going to have to strain and be uncomfortable. Okay, as soon as you start doing that and you embrace that, then you start moving your program forward. You just can't ever be the person that won't give up. Okay, self-discipline. This is maybe the one that for me has taken time. The last 2.5 years to really build. It's the self-discipline aspect of it with our team. This is the personal accountability and making decisions that put the team first. Okay, we live in an Instagram society. If the picture perfect thing that everybody puts on Instagram, that's not life. That's not reality. Okay, understand that every decision that you make affects our football program. The many people before it, and the many people are going to come after it. Having the ability to sacrifice, having the character and the toughness to make the right choice. Okay, that's hard. Okay, they've got every opportunity that they want in any social avenue to take, but they've got to understand if we want to be the best, we want to be successful, then you got to make tough choices. Okay, and then are you committed to doing more? Your recovery habits, your social habits, and the extra preparation that it takes to be successful. I know you can't see that in the back. I can't even see it from here. Put it up, I'll be happy to send it to anybody if you're interested in it. For me, when you talk about preparation, okay, there's a couple different ways that I've got to do it. I'm a really, really slow learner. Okay, if I read a book, I've got to read a page, and I've got to underline it, and I've got to go back and read it, just the way that I learn. So this is this is my checklist as I go out throughout the week in game planning. Okay, and I know I'm bouncing around a little bit, but this, the last one on extra preparation for me, if I don't get this checklist done by the end of really midday Wednesday, that I feel like I'm way far behind. And I'm talking about the game's over Saturday night, on Sunday morning, how I start the checklist. Okay, at the top there, and I just have, this year I had Coach Shearer fill out, his thoughts on some of the things, and then we divide up, and everybody's got their way that they start breaking down the next opponent. But for me, on this, I have the defensive line fill out, the defensive line coach, fill out what the personnel thoughts on our upcoming opponent on the offensive line. Okay, he gives a really detailed approach on what he thinks, running backs and tight ends, wide receiver and quarterback. We always come up, this started with Coach Pittman, at the beginning, I think it was when we first started, KB maybe, I think we started that every week. He wanted, what are our keys to victory? Something that we can hang our hat on, offense, defense, and special teams. And really, our guys, our kids, their team is they've started really to buy in on that. They understand defensively, if we do these 3 or 4 things, that we have a chance to win the game, but I think you've got to put it in front of them. And it's not just writing down, well, we got to, score more points than they do. It's really detailed on what each side of the ball's got to do, and our kids have bought into that. I look at how an offense always starts the drive. What do they do on PN10? Every one of them, I list those out. And then I get into subgroups and personnel groupings, but then also into situational football. Second down 7 through 10, second down 11 plus. If it's second down at 1 or 2, kind of a waist down situation, kind of list those out. Backed up coming out, okay, in the backed up area. If they get inside the -3 yard line coming out, okay, to me the playbook changes quite a bit. Okay, any alternate groupings, so how many times have they done a wildcat, how many times do they go extra tackle, all the different things that you look at from there, for me, on the way that I piece it together. Sudden change, okay, after a turnover, do they go for a shot, do they play it safe, situational, do they have the lead, what do they do in a sudden change situation? And then we get over to the next page, first down and short, they get a penalty, offsides, 1st and 5, how do they react to that? First down and long, okay, they jump offsides, 1st and 15, what's the offense go to? And then it gets into 3rd downs, okay, and we spend time game planning, and I'll get into it, I think, before I turn it over to Coach. We had a charge going from 2020 to 21. We really needed to make improvements on 3rd downs. It's so important for us defensively getting off the field, obviously, but how do you do that? Well, we're a lot better if it's 3rd and 7 plus than we are 3rd and 1, so you got to be good on 1st and 2nd down to give yourself a chance. So we spent a lot of time in the offseason looking at this, and then during the season, we broke it down really almost inch by inch. 3rd down and 1, what do they do on 3rd and 2 and 3? Is 3rd and 3 different than 3rd and 1 and 2? And then all the different 3rd down areas that they've got. That was good for me and good for our team. Okay, what do they do midfield, right? What do they do from the 40 to the 40? Spend time on that. Red zone is a whole other study. And then I talk about being a 4-point play. So it's 3rd down, goal to go, 3rd and 1. Do you hold them to a field goal? Or is it a 1st down, they go for a touchdown, obviously a 4-point swing. 2-minute situation, kind of our 2-minute menu, 4 minutes in a game, the 4-minute drive, they got to get a 1st down, the game's over. We spend a lot of time looking at that. Goal line situation, 4th down, and then last play of the game. If there's ever, you look at every coordinator's got a little bit of a DNA. So you look back at Mike Leach at Mississippi State. I was a DB's coach at Missouri. He was at Texas Tech. A lot of the things that he does now are similar to what he did 15 years ago at Texas Tech. So we keep a running book on all the coordinators that we're going to play, and you kind of go back. What's the last play of the game that he did? In 2017, we kind of go back and try to carry on, and because everybody sticks to pretty much true on who they are to an extent. So that's kind of the checklist on how we start the week. I think it's been good for me preparation-wise. Gives our kids a chance to really at least focus on these things, on how we practice. Coach established, we talked about the 3rd down was important. We'll do good on good 3rd downs. That's on Wednesday, I think, in practice. We'll do a segment, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 8, 6, 4, rarely in the season we do good on good. We're really short yardage, third, but we'll do a goal line down, against our look squad. But the third down was a huge emphasis for us, I think, because of this, and then how we practice and being good on good. It's been really good for our program. The next one that we'll talk about, this core belief of being unmatched in our effort, our urgency, and our enthusiasm. Okay, about attitude, we talked about it. 4th and 1. Everybody knows in the stadium it's a 4th and 1. You can feel it. Okay, that's how we should go attack practice in all walks of our life. Okay, we talk about being early, being on time, and doing more. I think it's really, really a reflection of what's important to you. I haven't, not one time have we had a guy that's been late to one of Coach Pittman's meeting, okay, because it's important to him. Okay, we need to treat our biology class just like that, okay, or study hall just like that. Okay, if it's important to you, you're going to find a way to be on time. Okay, here's a couple of things defensively, and I just want to watch. This is against A&M. We're in our odd front, 3 safety look. Okay, there's a lot of times on this, and we can go through on how we set the front. But in this watch on the back end, I wanted to watch the linebackers and then the guys in red jersey on the back end on how they got to the ball. Okay, this is when you know that they're playing fast, they're playing free, they understand what they're doing, okay, because you've been a good teacher and they understand it, they've been good learners in the way that they prepare. But getting guys to run to the ball, it doesn't make the tackle, but he's backed up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really, we got 7 guys around the ball. That's a good way to start the game. Okay, as it keeps going on, we try to get penetration. Anytime with the zone scheme that we got this week, we knew that if we lined up and we were tight and we'd chase the hip, that we'd have a chance to be in position to have a tackle for loss. It happens again there. We missed the tackle, but you can see again getting hatched to the ball and all those things that we talk about really are showing in some of these clips defensively. Texas early on, again, you watch up front, we're still in a 3 down front, but we're getting penetration on the pull. Okay, he's close to the hip, tight hip, gets penetration, okay, and there's nowhere to go because of the way that we're playing up front. I tell the defensive line, I want them to play on their side of the line of scrimmage, all right? I want the linebacker to make them right, and then the secondary guys playing off of that, they've got to do the same thing, okay? It's a way to play defensive football, playing with great energy, great enthusiasm. This is one of my favorite clips all year, okay? He goes underneath it, shouldn't, but he goes, he misses the tackle, but then we've got, okay, the line of scrimmage is at the, 41-yard line, okay? Still, we haven't made it back to the line yet, all right? We'll take that every day. The guys will run and hit, and they'll go play fast together. It becomes a knowledge of, because they understood how they could go play in this game. Okay, here's the next one here. Again, playing on their side. I want to watch the 2 linebackers here. And Coach just was talking about, I was listening to Joe T. Robinson talk early today. They talk about reading getting triggers on the linebackers. Okay, it was really good because these guys understood. Okay, with pullers and the different things, they understood because their eyes were in the right spot and they could play off of each other. Coach Shear did a great job again. If we had a double team up front, they were going to go try to get the double team off as fast as possible. As soon as they saw grass, they were playing downhill to go make the play. And this is an example again of that. But again, guys playing fast, they're playing confident, they understand, they've prepared the right way. And a lot of times guys in our odd front structure, it created double teams and allowed our linebackers to be able to run and allowed them to be able to go play aggressive on their side of the ball. And here's one more. Again, in a 3 down. And again, we started about midweek, we started going really in and out from our 3 down to our 4 down, trying to match personnel on the other side. And I think, if you look at that, we can't, I'm not good enough or smart enough just to be able to live in a 3 down front all the time. We're just a 4 down front. So we've got to be as multiple as we can be with the understanding that you're always building it around the principles of what your kids can do. Don't ask them to do something they can't, but get those guys in position to play the scheme that they can go play and then have them go play as fast as they can and as physical as they can. Again, guys running to the ball. Again, this is one game that you look at, that's the way you got to go play. Go finish the play. Get him down. Okay? Get guys around the ball. All right, this is another one that I'll spend just a couple minutes on. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Bowman. Areas that we talk about all the time defensively that are so important for us having a chance to win the game. All right, they've got to be in our favor. Turnover margin, offensively, they didn't give it away hardly at all this year. Okay, we didn't get enough takeaways, but we played complementary football. and we're in the top 15 in the country in turnover margin. That's a reason we had some success. Penalties have got to be in our favor. Mental errors, again, to me, that's just coaching on how you can teach your kids. And then special teams, every one of our defensive starters and second team guys, they were so involved, and Coach Scott Fountain does a tremendous job with our special teams units. You know, that's so important in game-changing plays. With a kicker, if he'd kick it out of the end zone every time, which he did, yeah, I'll take it on the 25 every time, start to play defense there. Hunt team did a great job, but the emphasis that we put on our defense, on making sure that special teams, you know, those 30 plays of special teams, those are game-changing plays. Right? They're going to be the difference in the game, and that's so important to us. And then areas of emphasis that we spend on defense, and we'll spend a lot of time this offseason on finding ways to try to get better, but also I think it's the name of how you can play on defense and give your team a chance to win. Number one is finding a way to get the ball back, okay, being productive in forced fumbles and interceptions and strip sacks, whatever it is, getting the ball back for our offense. We've done a couple of studies, and in 12 games, if you can get 25 takeaways in a game, it really doesn't matter what your offense does. If you can get 25 in a season, you know, the record is you're going to win 8 games. And it's amazing when you take all the other stats out of it. For us, in our league, if you can get 25, you're going to win at least 8 games. So that's our goal of what we're trying to get to. Eliminate explosive plays, it's hard to do, okay? I know this, when I retire from football, I'm going to be the head of officials, and I'm going to screw every offense there is. I'm going to say, no flag, offensive pass interference. But eliminate explosive plays, okay? For us, we want to hold them to 3 or less a game. That's hard to do, but that's our goal, okay? An explosive play is 20 yards by pass, 15 yards by run. We did that 4 times last year. You know, is it a hard goal to achieve? Absolutely. But if you do that, you're ass-kicking defense, and that's the way, the standard that we're going to have. Third down percentage, we want to try to be above 65%. We were top 15 in the country in third down defense this year, and we spent a lot of time on it. That doesn't mean we're going to be really good next year, but we've got to spend time that knows, you know, for us to play winning football, we're going to be good on third downs. And then obviously scoring defense. And I know, Coach, you were talking about earlier, you know, it used to be 7 points a game, and I don't remember those days, but, you know, I remember talking when I was at Missouri as a coordinator. You know, I said, hey, you know, the Big 12, let's go. Our scoring defense was 17. I want to change it to 21. And our head coach had a fit. He said, you're telling me you're going to give up 3 touchdowns? I was like, well, anyway, we got to keep it. We were at 22.3, I think, this year. I want to try to keep it at 20 or under. Offensively, if we can do that, I know that every week we're going to score that many points or quite a bit more. So that's a quick overview, kind of some of the thoughts that we've got defensively. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Bowman. He's going to get started on some defensive back specific play. And I really appreciate you guys. Don't go anywhere. He's going to be a hell of a lot better speaker than I will. I just said don't go anywhere, and you're leaving. He's going to do a hell of a job coaching our guys this year. I'm excited to have him on our staff, and thanks so much for everything you guys do.
Can you hear me? Yep. Well, thank you guys. My name is Dominic Bowman. First of all, I want to thank Coach Odom and Coach Pittman for allowing me to be on this staff. All right, I'm going to go through this really fast. I get about 30 minutes. I'm going to try to get as much information as I can in 30 minutes. This is my contact information. I still have my Marshall email, so email me. I got a week left. I mean, I get switched over soon. All right? So this is my journey. I'm going through this really fast. I was a defensive coordinator at Cordova High School in Memphis, Tennessee. Then I was at Arkansas Monticello for a season. UT Martin for 2 seasons, Austin Peay for 2 seasons, Marshall for 1 season, and now I'm at the best university in the world, here at the University of Arkansas. So I'm going to talk about my philosophy, all right? And so when you think about philosophy, you ask yourself, right? So many guys have so many cliche terms and phrases, but for me, your philosophy is what you put on film. Right? You can say all the stuff you want. When they cut the film on, what do guys see from your unit? For me, I think I will have a detail-oriented unit. What does that mean? What does that look like? All right? I want to know my alignments. I want to know my assignments. I want to know my responsibility. We also want to be the most technically sound secondary in the country, right? Technique wins. What does that mean? Making them shoot half-court shots and not layups, right? We want to contest every throw. Again, the definition of a good coach secondary is when you cut the film on, how many guys do you see running wide open, right? How many guys do you see running wide open? All right, we want to contest every throw. We didn't say the best secondary is the guys that have 45 interceptions. They're going to catch balls, but we want to contest every throw. We want to be the most technically sound secondary in the country, right? We also want to be prepared. All right, what does that mean? You want to see guys saying, hey, palms up. No, be on the same page. That goes back to being detail-oriented. And also, Coach Odom, I'm here in Arkansas, those guys they play lights out. We want to give max effort every single time. So I believe everywhere I've been, this has been my philosophy, all right? Again, your philosophy is what you get when you cut the film on, all right? So here we go. These are what we call four non-negotiables. The very first meeting we have as a secondary, we say, listen, let's go ahead and let's get this out of the way. There's no way around this. Eventually, a guy's gonna come and block you. You gotta beat your block, right? In frame, block your feet. Out frame, block your feet. On the move, block your feet, all right? It's gonna happen. No way around it. You gotta make a tackle, right? The days of you being back there and being a cover corner are done. They get these big personnel running duo, making a corner tackle, making a safety tackle. You gotta get it down the ground, right? Use your technique. They're gonna throw the ball your way. They are. They're gonna throw the ball your way. You gotta get your elbows above your eyes, go up and high point the ball and take it away. And they're gonna catch a ball on you. They will. You gotta get up, get lined back up. Coach Odom gonna be pissed. Coach Pitt's gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. You gotta play with confidence, all right? We call these the four non-negotiables, right? Get it out the way. So this is a quick one I had when I was a high school coach. These are the deep to the back 10 commandments. I'm not gonna go through all of these, but number 4 is the most important to me. I will make every play that comes to me. I'm gonna reiterate that again. I will make every play that comes to me, right? You play in a secondary, you might go 5, 6, 7 plays and not get any action, right? But when an opportunity comes, you make a play, you have to make the play. I wasn't a very good baseball player, wasn't a lot of baseball fields and measures, but I know you hit the ball in the outfield and the guy dropped it, they call it a what? An error, right? That's a missed opportunity. That is a missed opportunity. But we get people used to that, right? So we have to make every play that comes to us. That's important. Number 1, I will play what I see. My eyes tell me the truth. My first meeting with my guys last week, I said, listen, you can play football deaf, right? You can play football deaf. Trust your eyes will tell you the truth. So these are my 10 commandments. I'm not going through all these, but those are 2 most important ones for me. All right, so if you don't hear anything else I'm talking about today, if you don't hear anything else, this is the most important slide of them all. Your teach progression, right? So we all were students one day, we always teach. I was a high school coach. You never go to a science class or a math class and the teacher say, hey coach, solve this problem, without giving you a formula, right? So no matter what we teach, if it's middle field, linear, if it's 3 high safety, what it is, we teach off of progression. And my progression is this, alignment. Don't be beat by alignment. Understand your alignment before the play happens, right? Stance. Get in the stance. If nothing else, your stance lets me know that you're ready to play. So we're going to talk about a stagger stance today, meaning my belt buckle to the formation, a reverse stagger stance, my belt buckle is away from the formation, and a square stance, meaning my shoulders on my knees, and my knees are on my toes, I'm going to balls on my feet, right? Your key. Identify your key in a hurry, get your eyes on your key. Your responsibility is what you do once your key moves, right? And technique. To me, technique is like a relationship. What does that mean, coach? If you date one lady and you break up with her and you start dating another lady, you can't say, well, listen, my last girlfriend, she likes salt in her greens, and I don't like that way. It's not going to work, right? So we got to believe, we got to trust, and we got to, whatever Coach Odom teaching, whatever I'm teaching, Coach Adams, whoever it is, we got to trust and believe we got to be on the same page. And obviously finishing the play, man. I can't make you finish. That's the name of the back in Jersey. That's a friend where it's in Arkansas. That's where you're from. That's your family. That's all about that. Finishing the play is important. All right. So in the philosophy, all right, everybody knows the drill. I post drill on Twitter or whatever. I get so many text messages, hey, Coach Bowman, send me your drill tape. Send me your drill tape, right? But you got to have an individual philosophy. And my philosophy is this, right? I struggled in math in high school. Terrible. So my dad said, hey, Dominique, I'm going to take you to school with the teacher after school, and we're going to go to tutoring. I'm like, what? Tutoring? And so it was my opportunity to lock in with me and that professor for her to lock in on the stuff I struggle with. So individual drills is your opportunity for you to focus on small, intricate details that you're struggling in, all right? But you have to have detailed coaching points in Indy. You should coach individual drills just as hard, just as much energy as you coach the scheme specific. If a cover 3 corner doesn't depth and divide, you got 2 speeds, you're going to be pissed at him, right? But in Indy drills, if a guy get outside his framework, you just say, hey, come on, man, do it again, right? So it's not the opportunity for a coach for you to take a break, all right? Go get tape, get stretched, see the trainer, get my chip, whatever. That's an opportunity for you to lock in. So how do you structure Indy? We say agility, ball, and contact. What does that mean, Coach Bowman? We start out with our agility. Right? That's 45-degree breaks, the end of whatever it is, transitions, and we always incorporate the ball. The ball's the program. I see so many DB coaches on Sundays, all the way down to Little League, and they breaking guys on the ball. The ball is never the key, right? And so then we do some kind of contact every day. If it's shock and chin, if it's tackling, whatever it is. So we structure Indy with agility, ball, and contact. Let's get to some drills now. All right, so this first drill. It's a pedal open drive, but we have detailed coaching points on it, right? So my GA or whoever with me, his job is, hey, every single rep, you get off the coaching points, right? On my shoulders or my knees on my toes. On a plant point drive, what does that mean, right? I don't teach bicycle, T-step. I say get in on your brakes as fast as you can and as comfortable as you possibly can, right? And I want to keep my chin down. You heard that a couple times. What does that mean? My chin is my steering wheel. Repeat it, guys. My chin is my steering wheel. It controls my entire body. What does that mean? If my chin go up, then my shoulders go up, and I'm off balance. If I keep my chin down, now I'm in a dominant football position, and I can go either way. So again, remember that. My chin is my steering wheel. It controls my entire body. All right, so here we go. I got a good stance, my shoulders on my knees on my toes. All right, I'll put him in the pedal. Boom, his chin is down. We talked about my chin is my steering wheel. Right, so now he keeping his chin down, controlling his body. Now, he put his back foot in the ground. When you see guys slipping and sliding all over the field, it's not because the turf is bad. I know we always say that, it's not. It's because their back foot is getting outside my framework. Because Bowman, what is framework? It's inside my shoulders, right? So that back foot get out, it's getting wide, now I'm slipping and sliding. I want to focus on keeping my back foot inside my framework. That has to be coached. That has to be taught. That has to be over and over again. Hey, keep that back foot inside the framework, now keep that chin down. Every single time, right? Now, I want to come out of my break running. I want to come out of my break running. What does that mean, right? I hear receiver coaches all the time talk about, when I come out of my break, I want to plant my foot, I want to come out of the running with violent arms, right? So we talk about in terms of coming out of my break with violent arms, right? So now the coaching point is this. I want to keep my chin down. I want to keep that back foot inside my framework. I want to run my arms out of my break, come out of the running, and listen, guys, non-negotiable. We cannot afford to drop balls in Indy. We cannot afford to drop balls in Indy. You know why? You know the ball's coming. You're not covering anybody. So doing team push-ups, right? Doing team push-ups is not going to hurt you. Not going to help you, right? It's accountability. You let the team down. So what we do is, hey, don't be that guy, D. Don't be that guy now. Don't let us down. Who gonna drop the ball today? All right? And do a 10 push-up. Give me 10 push-ups. Nobody cares about that. I did when I was a college kid, right? Here we go to the next one. Keep my chin down. Come on my break running. Let's speed up. All right. All right, here we go. Speed turns now. All right? Detailed coaching points. I want to keep my chin down. My chin is my steering wheel, right? I want to shoot my elbow through. I want to get my head around violently. All right, here we go. I'm coaching them. I'm telling them right now. I'm going through this progression. We're teaching now. We're teachers. We're going through the progression. Hey, make sure you keep your chin down. Keep that back foot inside the framework. Snap your head around. Come out of your break run. Boom. Chin is down. First coaching point. That's a plus. Great job. All right. Boom. Snap my head around. Back foot inside my framework. Point my toe. Plant my toe. Plant my foot, point my toe, and now watch his arms. Come out there running with violent arms. Now he has to finish the play by catching a football. All right? Here we go, 3 cone breaks, all right? Great stance, plant point drive, chin down out of my breaks. This is a drill we do we want to make sure we coach getting that back foot inside the framework, right? Choppy steps. Watch these guys. It doesn't matter. One guy's T-stepping. One guy has a pointed toe. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, right? But the coaching points on is this. We want to keep that back foot inside my framework, right? So don't worry about a T-step or a bicycle step. Hey, make sure that back foot is inside my framework. If it isn't, then we have guys flipping the slide, and we go say, hey, coach, our turf is bad. No, the coaching is bad, all right? Keep the back foot inside my framework, calling on a break, running, boom, all right? I'm going to go through one drill of contact, and we'll get you some man-to-man stuff, I'm going to let y'all go. All right, here we go, contact, angle tackle, right? I was on the inside hip of the ball carrier. I want to gain ground with every step. Once I get close enough to the guy, I want the same leg, same shoulder, wrap, squeeze, and roll my hips. I got more power that way. All right? Here we go. Inside out. I want to gain ground every step. All right? Short stride, long stride. What does that mean? If I'm out of phase on running, I got long stride. Once I start gaining ground, I want to shorten my stride up. I want to feel it with glued knees, right? What does that look like? If my knees are glued, I got good balance. If my knees are out. So that's the one thing we talk about, having glued knees to control your own snap forward and keep everything tight and compact. All right, so here we go. Watch this guy. Boom. He rolled the hips. That's no different in a D-line coach talking about two-point explosion, right? Boom. Same leg, same shoulder. He rolled his hips on contact, running his feet. All right? Now, you need to roll his hips a little more, but good job, same leg, same shoulder. Let me get to, I'm going to skip all this and get to some man's cover stuff. All right, here we go. Everybody's here for man cover, right? Press man. How do you teach press man, and what is your press man philosophy? All right, what is your press man philosophy? This is a drill we call basketball shuffle. Eyes on the belt line, shoulders on my knees on my toes, I'm on the ball of my feet. I want to shuffle to maintain a frontal position, right? I want to shuffle to maintain a frontal position on the wide out. This is my framework, right? We tell these guys, hey, listen, number one objective is this. That guy can't run on a straight line. That's important. How do you stop from doing that? I want a basketball shuffle to maintain a frontal position, right? We don't teach motor. Why do you don't teach motor? Because this is why. If a guy's motoring out, we're allowing the receiver to dictate when we react. We don't want that to happen. So if a guy just going side to side, not gaining the ground, we're going to be firm in basketball shuffle. This is the drill. All right, so we got two cones here. I'm watching his feet. We don't want to give any ground. We want side to side, keep my framework square, working and maintain a frontal position on the wide out, eyes on the belt line. All right, next guy goes up, eyes on the belt line, I'm on the balls of my feet. We're not giving any ground. We want a basketball shuffle or slide to maintain a frontal position. All right, because he's not doing anything to us. Now, we will teach inch back. What does that mean? If a guy, he's still up from the coach. If me and him is dancing, right, and I smother myself, I can't move laterally. So if he gains ground inside my framework, I'm going to inch back. All that is resetting my feet. Bang! All right? Now I'm getting back firm. So now I can maintain a frontal position, right? So again, if he just speed release me and doesn't get in the ground, I'm getting my cut-off point. We'll get to that next. But if he gains ground inside the framework, I want to give myself a 6-inch, bam, reset my feet, inch back, so now I can have enough space to still maintain a frontal position, right? We teach that. Thank you, Coach. All right, so the second piece of the progression we call angle kick. So now he's got outside the framework, I fought like hell to maintain a frontal position. He got outside my framework, now I want a 45-degree angle kick and cut him off. All right, here we go. Speed release, boom, off-hand jam, aim big. That's between the breastplate and the armpit, all right? I want to aim big. All right, here we go. So now we're saying he's gaining ground inside her framework. So now I want to inch back. Boom, inching back, I'm not motoring. I'm only inching back because I can give myself enough space because I can fight to maintain a frontal position on the wide out. Why your hand behind the back, Coach Bowman? This is why. In the very first 5 yards of the route, in my opinion, your hands are a bonus. So if me and you are walking to point A to point B, you got an angle, I got an angle. Eventually, you're not going to meet. And when we meet, we talk about being violent with our hands then. But in the first 5 yards of the route, we talk about our hands being a bonus. Out of the inside hip, he come back and leave one, take the charge on him. All right, here we go. Some one-on-one. Here we go. So we talked about it, right? These drills translate. There's no perfect rep before you watch these clips. So we can talk and clinic all day long. There's no perfect rep. As a coach, it is your job to give a guy a tool bag. Once he makes a mistake, he go into his tool bag and he make corrections. All right. So right now we're saying we're zero coverage. We don't have any post safety help. So we're not doing the boundary rules, anything like that. We're inside eyeball the guy. We talk about being nose up, inside eyeball, outside eyeball. We don't say inside leverage or outside leverage, right? So right now we're inside eyeball. What does that mean? My inside foot is on his inside eyeball, right? I want a basketball shuffle to maintain a front position on the wide out if he doesn't gain ground inside the framework. I'm fighting to stay square. Boom, good job. His feet are getting a little too wide, but it happens. But he's outside my framework. What is that? Outside my shoulders. Now I want a 45-degree angle kick. He comes back underneath. We talk in terms of taking the charge. He has to come through my body, right? Once you feel contact, bam, then you get your eyes back on the quarterback. And now listen, we cannot afford to drop balls, right? Can't afford to drop balls. We catch passing, and then you got to fire the coach, all right? Now this is a bad technique by him. He's not a great stance, all right? But what he does do good is he doesn't give any ground. He keeps his framework square. He all-hand jams, aim big between the breastplate and armpit, and now he's running with the guy. Everybody talk about what's in phase, not a phase. Come here, coach. To me, if you're in phase, right? If my forearm can slap him in this thumb ball, I'm in phase. This is why. Put your hands out, coach. If I'm trailing the guy, I can get my outside arm all the way to the thumb, right? If he try to throw me back, I can hook the hooker, right? And then I can play the back shoulder, all right? Now, if I'm in phase, I'm shoulder to shoulder, and my inside shoulder can pin inside shoulder. I can wrap, squeeze, and lean. Thank you. All right, so now he's running with a guy. He's on top of him. Now he gets his eyes up. Coaching point. I want to get my eyes up, not back. So many guys get to falling down and fumbling and stumbling because so many coaches say, hey, get your eyes back. If I'm running with a guy, I get my eyes back at the quarterback. The ball is up there, right? The ball is there. So the coaching point is to get my eyes up, right? So we talk about getting my eyes up. That's the ball. This is the ball. So tell the kids, hey, get your eyes up, get your eyes up. His eyes are up, now he goes up and get it. How do we coach that? Elbows above my eyes. Don't say hype on the ball. What does that mean? I'm an 8th grader from Memphis, I have no idea, right? I want to get my elbows above my eyes, right? Elbows above my eyes, I want to go over and high point to the football, all right? He does a good job at that. All right, here we go, some game film. We got a split safety, we got a middle field close coverage here, we got a top hat. What does that mean? All right? The point guy, the corner has a guy in the back. So obviously, the space has already been created, right? We talk about maintaining a firm position. The 2's on, 1's off, so he's already created that separation. So no need to get ground, no need to do anything. All right, he's back. Now I'm going to basketball shuffle to maintain a firm position, right? So he knows that. So watch the guy here. Boom, working flat, that's the drill. He's shuffling, he understands, hey, the guy I'm covering has already created that space. Boom, right into him. It's a good job by him. Here we go again. Now he's wrong because obviously we're in the post in the defense, he's inside the divider, he should be outside eyeball, right? So he's wrong. This is a bad clip by him in terms of his alignment. But he also knows, boom, he beats me outside. I may as well be playing zero coverage now. I have no post safety help. Now he has to get on his horse, right? And so when a guy gets a step on you, we don't tell a guy to reach and grab. We tell you to run. My opinion, you've never seen a guy run a 100-meter dash looking back or reaching and grab. It's a race, right? You can go faster from point A to point B if you just run, right? So we're saying, hey, he gets a step on you, don't worry about reaching, don't worry about grabbing, just run and try to get back in phase, right? He's running now. So he takes off running, he's running. He's back in the phase. Now, coaching point, all right? How you eliminate the underthrown ball getting pass interference? We tell our guys this, no, coach. If the receiver puts on the brakes, and it happens, we all talk about it. While a guy's running, he puts the brakes on, and we run into us and beat out everybody's man, right? So we tell this guy, like, listen, once he put the brakes on, boom, get my eyes up, right? Do it again, go coach, run. Put the brakes on. Boom, get your eyes up. The ref don't care. He want to see you get your eyes up, right? So we're going to run into him and follow him, but as long as our eyes are up, well, we're not getting the flag. So he knows now the ball's on his wrong, all All right, the guy puts the brakes on, boom, he gets his eyes back up. Now you got to make a play. Finish it, right? That's on you. That's the name of the back of your jersey. That's where you're from. That's your family. That's who believe in you, right? Eyes up, boom, making a play. Big time play in a big time situation. All right? I got two more, I'm done. Here we go. So how do you handle an inside release? If I get an inside release, I'm getting some type of in-breaking route. I'm getting dig, I'm getting slant, whatever. I'm getting a post, I'm getting 7-cut, which is cool because now I'm on upfield shoulder 7-cut. If I get an inside release, we tell these guys now, I gotta lean. Boom. I gotta lean on that upfield shoulder. Right? So now, he has a step on me. No need to reach, no need to grab. I gotta do what? I gotta run. I got post safety help you, I know that. I gotta run though. Give you that top shoulder, and I gotta make a play. But again, watch it on the snap footwork. Right? Not giving me any ground, not inching back because the guy didn't give me any reason to. So now I'm just basketball shuffling to maintain a far position. That's the drill. That's the drill. All right? And he's making a great play on the ball. One more. Michael Abraham on top, right? He's on the guy, so his nose up on the guy. All right, he got post safety help again as a man-free concept. Now, your safety guys, tell these guys in post safety help, I want you in the middle of the field, not the middle of the formation, right? So he needs to be in the middle of the field. So now we stand flat, boom. Inside release, I gotta do what? I gotta lean. I'm getting an in-breaking route, I'm getting curl. I'm getting dig. I'm getting some type of in-breaking route or a 7-cut, which is okay because now I'm on an upfield shoulder guy. Bam! Get it over right on my hands. All right, ran through this. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.